Howdy.
Hello.
Well,
Howdy. How you doing?
how about you?
Doing pretty good, thank you. So, what did you
Oh,
want to
that's
talk
good.
about?
Well, it's more or less, maybe I've misunderstood you. I got into your content a really long time ago, then stopped for a bit, and I occasionally just see the streams pop up. But more or less, it's just a defense of just the average liberalism. I see like a huge, concerning rise in at least the most vocal parts of the left in a sort of abandonment of electoral politics. And that kind of concerns me. But maybe I'm just misunderstanding. I don't want to like ascribe certain beliefs to you since it has been a while since I've seen what you believe in.
Sure. So you think that I'm like casting aside electoralism? Is that am I getting that right?
No, not necessarily. I don't exactly know what you believe, but I know people like you or people I used to watch who were like you, who have sort of pushed away productive
Put
productive leftism, let's say.
pushed away productive leftism.
Yeah,
Like what? Like voting, you mean?
not just voting, but sort of pushing away the people they help get in, like with like AOC and
Ah,
what hopefully yeah.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, so there is a lot of pressure on AOC, Bernie Sanders, Ilhan Omar, all these people who are the most leftist of left politicians that we have to perform well and correctly. Overwhelming amounts of pressure on these people from all directions, all the time. Liberals hate them, conservatives hate them, and now leftists hate them. Boy,
I
howdy.
wouldn't say I wouldn't say particularly liberals hate them. They do win in their districts over and over again, which they do get the liberal vote.
The
I
established.
think
Go ahead.
I think that the most vocal people are probably the minority of the left, but it's what the issue is that they are vocal, and that's what can be ascribed to the left by other parties. So they don't seem nearly as popular with the average uh, left or average Democrat.
The liberal establishment does not like them. They really dicked over Bernie Sanders in 2016 by sticking Hillary Clinton in. And they screwed the country as well because now we have the eternal reign of Donald Trump. They did that. And people are understandably pissed about that.
How the liberal establishment ensure the eternal reign of Donald Trump now? It seems like they had their full backing behind their candidate. However misguided it may have been, or however many mistakes they have made, it was in their interest or their. Uh, I don't think it was what they wanted for Trump to win.
Just, may I ask your pronouns real quick? This is important.
Uh,
Or not, if you're not comfortable sharing.
Sorry, it's just right now it's a bit difficult.
They, them?
You can go with that. Yeah, thank you.
They, them? Sure. I only asked because I wanted to call you sir or ma'am, but now I don't
Okay.
have a word. So that question was pointless. But person, it was absolutely the liberals that condemned us to this fate. Absolutely. They did it 2 times.
So
Them. There you go.
I remember how the initial point, but I think that going back to 2016 is a bit unproductive. But for the 2024 election, how did they condemn us to this
Oh,
fate?
oh.
Pointed like
Do
a
I?
specific thing or a specific condemnation, a specific thing that they did that doomed us to this.
Boy, do I have a story for you.
Hmm?
So it all started when Joe Biden ran for office in 2020, which he shouldn't have done. He shouldn't have.
He
Okay, he was
won.
too old. He won, but he shouldn't have done it. He should have left it to somebody more progressive like Bernie Sanders. Okay, but he couldn't do it. They couldn't do it. They could not just give it to a progressive. They had to give it to Joe Biden, Joe Crime Bill Biden. Okay,
They,
Joe,
they look,
my leg hairs
Joe
turned
won
blonde in
the
the sun.
primary.
Biden.
He was popular with everyone
He
who was
no. Go ahead. You
he
finish.
was popular enough to win the primary, which was anyone who registered as Democrat could vote in. Uh, it feels more like a failure for a farther left movement to fight for their interests.
I'm going to display radical empathy to Joe Biden right now and say I think that he honestly thought he was the guy. I think he thought that. I think that everybody around him were fooling themselves. I think they knew deep down that this was not the guy. He was not him, okay? And so Joe Biden himself may have had the best of intentions, but I think that his ego got in the way and he ran for office when he should not have. And both in 2020 and in 2024, it was his turn, right? He's been waiting for
Well, he
so
won in
long. He was
2020.
vice president already. Now it's his
It was
turn.
his right to run in 2020. He won. The 2024 election, it's a different story. I agree. He should probably have dropped out sooner, but
Fine. Let's just talk about the
there were many
2024 then.
mistakes made. Hmm?
Let's just talk about 2024 then.
Yes.
Sure. Let's just do that. So Joe Biden ran again, and I'm assuming we both agree that he should not have, right? Considering he already gave us basically his word that he wouldn't.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
It was a pretty bad choice.
Okay. We can start there. So that being a bad choice, do you think that contributed to Trump's win?
I'd say that there were many factors in why Trump won, and that is probably one of them, but I wouldn't
Okay.
say it was that large of a factor.
I I don't know. Like, people were not happy with Biden. You can talk about the things he did. You can talk about what that the liberals love to do, right? They love to talk about the things they've already done for you. They want you to be grateful, okay? That's what liberals do best. They talk about the shit they've already done for you and they want you to be grateful for it. And that's why you should vote
Well,
for
is
them,
there
right?
anything that they've done for you that you are grateful for?
Huh?
Is there anything that you can think of that he did that you could potentially believe that was worth being grateful for, or at the very least, just
No.
something?
Not off the
No,
dome.
really?
No. No, nothing comes to mind off the dome. My life did not improve substantially under Biden. No.
Well, maybe
Not that
not
I
your
noticed.
life. There were many uh there were many policies that Biden had put forward that did help the lives of many people, and the fact that the maintaining of the status quo at the time really helped people. Uh, I don't think that like there were many immigrants fearing for their life and safety under Biden, whereas under Trump it's whatever, you know, we might just set up camps, unfortunately, because Trump just wants them gone.
Okay, so you just did the thing.
Mhm.
So, as I said, I didn't substantially feel anything. I didn't. Okay? So, if I'm like this lackadaisical, don't really give a voter, why would I vote for this guy? He didn't do anything for me. I'll stay home.
Well, I agree. There's a lot of issues with the lack of
Yeah.
the Democrats' lack of they're not very good at advocating for themselves.
No, they're terrible at it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a problem.
And
They're politicians. They need to
yes,
be good at that.
yeah, but there's also a need for there is an easy way to fix that is having
Okay.
a base you can push. Now, I'm not blaming you. It'd
O-
be silly for me to do that. Uh, I would never blame you. But
Okay.
there's the sort of mindset that, well, I don't feel like my vote means anything, or I don't feel like they're very good at pushing this agenda.
No, they're terrible at it. And
Basically, what I'm saying is maybe be like a hype man, right?
no.
Because there's a lot of exciting policies they had.
They weren't exciting enough. I could not sell people on them. I tried to. I was one of the hype guys. Guys, correct me if I'm wrong. Was I not Kamala's
I'm sorry.
strongest warrior?
I apologize if I
No, it's fine.
misunderstood where you
It's
were.
fine. You don't
I
have
never
to
really watched it.
apologize. No. You don't have to apologize. I'm just getting indignant because, like, you hurt my fifis a little bit because
I'm
I
sorry.
no, you're fine. Because I was a hype man for Kamala, one of the strongest. I literally got shit from other leftists. They were like, "This looks bad for you, man. Kamala Harris isn't doing shit." And I was like, "I don't care. She's not Trump. She's not Trump." And so I'm going to hype her up as much as possible. And I did, and I was
I think that it
sorely
needs to be.
disappointed.
I think that she needs to be more than just not Trump. She needs to be the one who was pushing for what's it called, pushing against price gouging, which is something she did run on. She was very much trying to push a more of a farther for well, at least economically.
Okay, let's walk through this then. Price gouging. So this is good. Going against price gouging. I agree. Good policy. I like Kamala Harris' policy on price gouging. Okay. Now, how did she communicate that to her base?
It depends on which part of their base. She had a large base.
Any.
That was the
Pick
one
one.
major. That was the one thing
The
that
average Joe, the griller. The average
the
Joe.
average. I, it's a bit of a misconception, but the average Joe doesn't exactly exist. It's a it's a
Come
faceless
on. You
blob.
come on. No, you know what I mean. Come on. The average person. How did she message?
The average person where? The average person in Florida, average person
You
middle
are a
America,
liberal.
the average
You are a
in New
liberal.
York.
Holy shit. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be mean. It's just like
No, no, no. I get
what
it. I get it.
when I say the average, like me, like a guy like me, like just a guy who's chilling, you know? I'm just chilling. I'm just trying to live my life. I work a 9 to 5, honest living. Maybe I make $20 to $30 an hour. I'm lucky I make 40, right? Like, like sell me on the Democratic platform.
On the Democratic platform.
Yeah, on price gouging specifically. Sell me on it. Or explain how Kamala Harris sold people on it.
Let me pull it up real quick just to
Sure.
refresh my.
Alec and many others on the left did cheer them on. Yeah. Yeah, we've been over that. Yeah.
Well, I do
Yeah.
apologize if I misunderstood.
No, you have nothing to apologize for. This is fantastic. I'm having a fun time. If I get too harsh, you can tell me. I'm not trying to be mean.
I don't find you as being mean. I just don't like
Okay.
misunderstanding people or at least misrepresenting them. I want to try to be as honest as possible.
If you ever do, I promise I'll tell you.
All right.
And I will not be
Yeah.
indignant about it, like I was.
Frustrating to find this stuff, especially after the election where it's all taken down.
I like that you don't like to misrepresent people. That's very honest. I think we're going to have a great conversation, okay? Who's a good boy? Did you hear that? He was not
She
happy.
during her
Hmm.
run, she had displayed that she had wanted to uh, fix the housing prices at like a federal level, which would help a lot of people, I believe. While she did not exactly flesh out her plan, I do believe that any plan at all would be better than what's currently happening.
You think that, so you were sold. I'm still not.
Well, I mean, what would it take for you to be sold on her? What exactly
Excite
would you need
me.
her to do?
Excite me.
Excite you,
Make my
but like
mouth water. Yeah.
this is politics. Politics isn't
That's what
exciting.
politics
It's
has always
getting
been. It's exciting people. It's getting them rallied
that,
up
that
to go fight for a cause.
that's
Oh,
not
we're
that's
gonna
not what
fix.
a
We're
that's not what
gonna.
politics is like in a democracy. It could be like that in some sort of
My
despot where people are
my
rebelling, but
dearest, my dearest caller. I must tell you that is exactly how politics has always worked. You've got to be the popular guy. The popular guy always wins every time period, no exceptions. The popular guy wins.
the
Or
popular
or the least unpopular guy, which makes him by default the most popular. Biden was the most popular in 2020. I know he said we would only talk about 2024, but Biden was the most popular in 2020, not because he was Biden, because he was not Trump.
he was popular because of how poorly Trump handled the pandemic.
Yes.
And I think that the general consensus onto why Kamala lost this election was because of inflation. It, the incumbent parties around the world had actually been pushed out due to the same
In,
exact reason,
inflation?
inflation.
No.
I mean,
People
they were
think it was
smaller.
inflation.
the general what I mean by that is the whole what do they call it? The collective conscience around inflation. So the whole media uh, pushing the idea that the inflation is a huge issue and that the Democrats aren't doing anything about it.
I think that was
Whereas
part of
inflation,
it. I think that was part of it. That's true. I think that was a small part. I think the larger part is that the Democrats just don't excite people. I mean, look at them now. Even Donald Trump's in office right now. The Democrats are not doing that much better in the approval ratings.
well, of course, we right now we are currently without a a leader to unite us under. Now, there have been a few people who have sort of made little blips on the radar, you know, your Gavin Newsoms, your AOCs, people who are they're trying to like make themselves more seen. It's just the issue is Democrats do not have the right in this country to be bombastic or the right to be above push above the rest.
Bernie Sanders is like salt on a chip. Okay, he's like a salty chip. Every liberal politician is a plain ass, disgusting ass chip, soggy as fuck, been sitting out for days. Okay, and Bernie Sanders is that nice, crisp, salty crunch, and nothing more. He is a
And I love
crispy,
Bernie.
salty chip in a bag of soggy, stale chips.
As a
Okay,
Jew, I
and
resent
it's
that. He's clearly an everything bagel.
okay, fine. You know what? That's great. Everything bagel. There you go.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, yeah. He's an
he's the
everything
everything
bagel.
bagel.
No,
Everything else,
I love Bernie, but the
dry
issue with him
ass.
is
Good.
he can't. He was never able to win a primary. Whereas his policy ideas had actually managed to push forward.
But
The issue is that he couldn't assemble a coalition within the parties. He can get a large percentage, I agree, but he can't push beyond that. And the reason for that is he's seen as an extremist. Uh, he's seen as far too extreme for a more moderate left. And unfortunately for this country, for the Democratic Party, we're sort of a larger house. We have moderates. We have even some conservative members who have sort of left the Republican Party. And with that, it's going to be, it was, and it's going to continue to be hard for someone like Bernie to win a primary.
I just found a cat whisker.
You got to
Make a
keep
make a
cat.
wish. Make a wish. Thank you. Okay, so we're gonna get there. We're gonna get to your point. Okay, but first I want to address this. What I said about Bernie Sanders. Do you find a salty, crispy potato chip to be impressive in any way?
I mean, comparatively, if the rest of the bag
Comparatively.
is unsalted,
Yeah, but in general, you're just not that impressed by potato chips. I'm sure. Like they're just kind of at the store. You pick them up. They're fine, right?
they're fine, yeah.
That's Bernie Sanders. He's fine. He's just fine in the charisma department. He's not like a Rizzler. Okay, he's fine at it. He's fine at talking. He cares. He's the minimum. Okay? And he is the most I defy you to defy me on this, okay? He is the most popular liberal, if you want to call him liberal, politician that there is right now. Like Bernie
Right now.
Sanders is by and large, like everybody knows Bernie Sanders, right? Everybody.
Everyone does. Whether
Yeah.
that's a good or a bad thing
Whatever you want to
is,
call it. Everyone knows him.
yeah,
Just like
yeah.
everyone
It's
knows Trump.
everyone knows Trump. Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone knows Trump. Everyone knows the charismatic ones. Zoran Mamdani, very charismatic guy.
Hmm.
Extremely so. In fact, I would say like leagues above Bernie Sanders in the Riz department. He has the Riz. He's got the sauce, okay? Zoran Mamdani is a goofball. He's a lovable dude. He's cool as always has an answer even if it's not the right one, okay? And he corrects
Hmm.
himself. He's very comes off as very honest and authentic. People are seeking
I want you to
authenticity.
say that. Sorry. Sorry about that.
You're fine. Go ahead.
I
I'm
want you
done.
to close your eyes and say the same thing and try your best not to imagine Barack Obama.
He was charismatic. You know what?
Yeah,
Actually,
he
good
was
point. I
charismatic.
think
He was
Barack
lovable.
Obama could take Bernie Sanders' place. Sure. Barack Obama was very charismatic. And that's why he won, because Barack Obama was a fantastic personality. He was. I have no
You
doubt.
reckon it had nothing to do with what's his name? Who's the Vietnam guy, the Vietnam veteran guy? Basically saved the Affordable
Oh,
Care Act and Obamacare.
John McCain.
John McCain. You think that there was like a small factor that could have had to do with John McCain choosing Sarah Palin as his VP when he ran?
No, I think Sarah Palin helped him immensely. Sarah Palin was a
I
little
don't know,
goofball.
man.
No, Sarah Palin was a goofball. People love goofballs. The
Sarah
liberals need to
Palin was
understand
the
this. Uh-huh.
Sarah Palin was like the proto-Trump.
Exactly.
She spoke to she spoke to that base.
Yes.
Like people like her are like evil, man. And I think that it was
The-
more visible back then because conservatives were far similar to liberals at the time, as in they believed in the same sort of economic, just differently on foreign affairs.
I disagree. People like goofy people. Like they like personalities.
Like,
Sarah Palin is far more memorable than John McCain. John McCain is a stale chip, okay?
are you
He's a stale
sure?
chip.
I don't know. I
Yes,
think
I'm
John McCain
1000%.
sort of,
If you ask the average Joe on the street, hey, do you know who Sarah Palin is? I guarantee you'd
sure.
get more yeses than if you asked who John McCain is.
I mean, yeah, SNL. It wasn't Sarah Silverman. It was Tina Fey.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh, dead on, dead on. I remember that.
yeah, very good. No,
So
I
good.
agree with that, but I don't think that those people are the kind of people who would say, "Oh, I liked Sarah Palin." They would know her for the same reason why they either hated her and didn't vote Republican, or they were already Democrat. I'm pretty sure there was like a large, or at least a considerable group of Republicans who just never turned up to vote for McCain because they just thought Sarah Palin was too crazy or too extreme.
Pirates of the Caribbean. Ever seen it?
Oh, which one?
I think the first one.
Hmm?
Jack Sparrow, right?
Jack Sparrow.
He,
Yeah.
I can't remember who he was talking to, but he was talking to some guy, and the guy said, "You are the worst pirate I've ever heard of." And what was Jack
The
Sparrow's
Commodore.
response?
But you've heard of me.
But you've heard of me.
Yeah, yeah.
There you go. We need Jack Sparrow. We need a Jack Sparrow on the left.
I agree with you, but I don't think that charisma is all it needs. Could you describe
It's
to me, not like an actual person, but describe to me the ideal Democratic candidate? Like who would you be not only vote for,
me.
enthusiastic to vote
Me.
for?
It would be me. It'd be me. I think I could do it.
You think you could do it?
I think I could do it. But it would be a guy that's much like me. Yes.
A guy much like you.
Yes. Charismatic, knows what he's talking about. When he doesn't, he either makes a joke or says he doesn't. He can get people on his side. Listen, I'm blowing myself up quite a bit here. I'm not trying to do that. But what I'm trying to get at is it should be a guy who's charismatic, knows what he's talking about, and has a good heart.
It's
That's
gonna
all I
be difficult
require.
to
That is
find
all I
someone decent
require.
like.
I'm a very minimalist type of guy.
I think we could have had that with someone like Kamala Harris. Unfortunately, though, it was hard with the whole media machine working against her.
I agree. Excuse me. I think that Kamala Harris was dicked by Biden's team. I agree.
I don't
I
think it was just Biden's team. Like she
mm,
was straight up World War II Poland being invaded from both ends.
sure. I agree. I think that she could have ballsed up a little bit. I think she could have just said, here's how I'm going to be different from Biden. Here are the things that I disagree with Biden on. She should have just pulled that card. She's her
Well, I don't
own
think she could
damn
have done that
person.
hard.
She's
I don't
her.
think she could have.
Hmm?
I don't think she could have pulled that.
Sure, she could have. She was
How bad
live
do you
on
think it would
air.
have looked?
She was
How bad do you
live.
think it would look
Did
for the
you?
Biden administration to have their own vice president to
Okay.
speak out against the policies of itself? I don't think that she could have done that.
Sure. Trump does it all the time. That's how he got to presidency.
And Trump's running on the fact that he doesn't care about a dynasty. He doesn't care
I
about who comes next in the Republican Party.
but
He's trying to burn down the party and take the country with it. And I don't think having that for a Democrat whose party is the entire idea of the party right now is to not only maintain the country but to help build it for the future. I don't think those ideas are congruent here.
you can absolutely do what Trump did in a good direction. You can do that. I believe.
Can do what Trump did. So when you say do what Trump did, do you mean like the whole
Cult of
character of
personality.
Trump, the cult of I disagree. I think the whole
Why not?
idea of a cult of personality is a terrifying idea, especially when it comes to
No.
politics. I don't think that it's ever been pulled off very well.
Okay, here's the thing. There are a lot of weak people. Okay? A lot of mentally, emotionally weak and unstable individuals whose ideologies are all mashed up and mixed up in their heads and they don't know left from right, politically speaking, because they're idiots and they're weak. And it's not their fault. They were born into circumstances above their pay grade, quite literally. And like they have to make ends meet. So they don't get time to sit down and sit with that. You know what I mean? I am very
Yes.
fortunate to have had that time. You know, I have been born into very fortunate circumstances. I had a good upbringing. I have a lot of money right now. I have money. I should say I have money. Please give me money. More money, please, is always nice. What I mean is I can make ends meet very easily if I need to.
Mhm.
So I've had time, and my job is very it's very lax. So I have plenty of time and plenty of energy to think about this stuff. My point is, weak people look for a cult of personality all the time. Okay, it is the one thing that draws them more than anything else in this world. Who can I look to tell me what to do? Why not me? Look to me. I want them to look to a guy like me who will tell them what to do. And what he's going to tell them to do is to be better. Sit down and think through your fucking ideology and decide what you think is right and wrong and vote based on that. I'm not going to try to guide them in one direction or the other, except for, the right direction. We're all trying to be the good guy at the end of the day. But the point is to give them the tools to figure this shit out on their own. And if they have questions, they can come to me. Okay? That's how I use my cult of personality. And not everybody likes my style, and that's fine. But this community is quite literally a cult of personality. Every community is. We're influencers.
Could you like give me an example of like within politics, what would you call like a cult of personality that has done has had a positive impact on its nation?
Zoran Mamdani.
He's not even in yet, and we don't
Yes,
know what impact he's had.
exactly. You just said it. He's not even in yet, and everybody knows
He's
him.
not even in yet. We don't know what impact he's had. I'm like, sorry, I don't want to press too hard, but
No,
like,
please,
I'm
press.
trying to find something of like a meaningful, measurable impact.
It,
Jobs gained, the average quality of life improved from a cult of personality that hasn't ended in some sort of horrific disaster.
I'm telling you, it doesn't matter. That's all beside the point. He could be the worst mayor in history. Doesn't matter. He's built a cult of personality. Look at Trump. Same thing. Zoran Mamdani and Donald Trump are alike in that regard. They're both very good at building cults of personality around them.
So what you're saying is that the cult of personality, so if Zoran Mondani goes in, I'm
Mm.
not even against Zoran Mondani. I'm excited to have a socialist mayor of
Oh, same
PR. That'd
here.
be cool. Hmm?
Good. I'm glad we're on the same page. Cause same here. I'm so
I
excited for him.
it sounds like it's an exciting prospect, but let's say in a horrific world where no, he's unable to get anything done, and God forbid a horrific disaster happens under his watch. What would a cult of personality like? How would that actually? The cult of personality seems like completely unrelated to like any sort of material change he can. You're like electorally, it could help, just to get in there. But like, what positive thing does it have once he's in there?
The pen is mightier than the sword, my friend. You can make a lot more change through conversation and talking to people than you can through any kind of crazy policy or anything like that. It's not about the policy. It's about talking to people and figuring out what it is they want and then giving it to them.
well, what you described is policy. It's well, at least the process
Policy
of
is
how
the
policy
medium.
is made. It
Policy is
goes
the.
through.
Go ahead. You go.
It's policy is means tested. It's determined by what's most popular, what people would think would what people want,
I love
and what
giving
people
people
need,
money, it's
and what
awesome
we
and
know will
cool.
work. That it's never really as interesting as someone who is like very charismatic pushing it across. That seems more like a means, I guess you could say.
So policy, yeah, policy is the medium through which we get things done politically. Okay? So yes, what I technically yes, you are speaking about is policy. Correct. But ultimately what it comes down to is talking to people and figuring out what they want first. You have to do that before you can start building policy, because if you build policy before figuring out what people actually want, how do you know it's what they want?
We have polls. We
That's figuring out what people want, and that's an indirect
yeah.
method, and I don't like it as much as just talking to people.
Well, let me bring this back to to Kamala.
Sure.
She ran on what people wanted. She ran on on getting rid of price gouging. She ran on helping solve the housing crisis.
Okay.
She ran on she ran on all these hot button issues, but she still didn't win. Whereas Trump, he didn't really run on anything besides the immigrants are here.
Eating the dogs, I'm assuming you say. You cut out a little bit, but yeah.
Sorry.
Um,
Trump didn't run on any of any policy or any sort of uh, average person issue. He ran on the immigrants are coming over and they're eating your dogs and
yeah.
cats,
Yeah. I agree.
and he still won.
But yeah, why did he win? What do you think?
I think he won because of a media environment that doesn't exactly treat Democrats very well. Democrats are the only people who are treated as the sort of adults in this. As the Republicans, they can say and do whatever they want, and everyone's just like, "Oh, that's just the Republicans being the Republicans." But I'm sure that they actually mean something different.
Democrats
And then
can
when
do
it,
that. Go ahead.
but the Democrats, whenever a Democrat has an issue, it's attached to them forever. No matter how many times they promise that they will fix it, it's still stuck to them.
Who attaches it to them?
The media in
Which media? Fox News?
both the liberal and the conservative media, all of them.
Not the liberal. No, the liberal media coos and whatever else over Kamala Harris and Joe Biden. They love those guys. What are you talking about?
How many times does the liberal media have to talk about how Kamala was never voted in with like a primary and how it wasn't a
Which
genuine
media?
election?
Which media talked about that?
When
I
I
heard
see that
Fox
talk
News
about,
and Newsmax.
I hear CNN talk about it too.
Okay, they've been bought out by who? Robert Murdoch, right?
No,
No, I thought they were. And anyway, it doesn't
it's like
matter.
that.
It doesn't
It's also
matter.
I think it's Rupert Murdoch.
Rupert Murdoch, not Robert. My bad. Doesn't matter. Anyway, point is, your stance is that the media influenced this environment, correct?
I'm not even talking about the television media either. I'm talking about the internet media as
The
well.
internet media. So like Elon Musk.
Elon Musk, uh, New York Times,
Okay.
the biggest political Twitch streamer, would never fully endorsed Kamala Harris,
Okay.
despite the fact that he knew and talked about how much was at stake.
Okay. So it just seems like the world is turned against Kamala Harris.
The world has turned against the Democrats, and it's been like that for a very
Democrats.
long time.
Okay. You know Chuck Schumer?
Yeah, Chuck Schumer.
What do you think
Yeah.
of that guy?
Um, I do think that he was a bit slow to the punch, but what he's doing right now is really effective, and he needs to continue to do it.
Why do you think he's doing it now? Why didn't he do it before?
Do it before because he was a bit concerned and perhaps a bit deluded to basically I don't think he understood the political situation of our country. And
Doesn't that bother
you
you?
know, I think that looking into the past and saying why didn't someone do this sooner, when we need to look into the future to see how we can fix this from now on, is far more productive. I think after this presidency, we could probably it'd be a bit better to look back to see where it went wrong. But right now, we're already in the crisis. When you're in a burning, to see how the fire's a way to get out, or you don't think to why it took you so long to realize the house was burning down. You need
You're
once
cutting.
you
Okay, you're
realize.
cutting out more frequently now.
Sorry.
I heard all of that. It's fine, but you're cutting out more frequently. We can fill in those blanks. So you don't need to repeat yourself, but I just wanted to let you know that.
All right, sorry about that. I'll just lean a bit closer to my computer.
Okay. Does it not bother you that Chuck Schumer, the House, or sorry, Senate leader of the Democratic Party, okay, didn't understand the political climate?
It's not that he didn't understand the political climate. He was just he was probably in denial of how far things have gotten. But the fact that he's acting now is better than nothing, and we need to focus on that. You can't just look at the tools you have and ask why they're not better. They're the way they are, and you need to look to the future.
Better than nothing.
It is definitely better than nothing. I'm sure most immigrants would say that the 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 situation that they had prior to Trump being elected was better than nothing, despite the fact that it wasn't that great.
Do you know how tired Americans are of hearing those three words? It's the liberals' favorite words. It's their mantra. Better than nothing. Hey, it's better than nothing.
It's not
Better
better
than
than
Trump, right,
nothing.
guys?
It's better than complete capitulation to Trump, a guy who is perfectly fine with sending his army to Democrat-run cities. That's insane.
I know. But at least shit's happening. People are so tired of drifting through their lives, just accepting a lower paycheck day by day because inflation is them, right? And they're not getting pay raises. They can't
The
afford their
inflation rate was
rent. They can't have
the
kids. They can't
inflation
buy a
rate was
house.
lowered under the Dems. I'm sure that they applauded that they showed that achievement
This,
despite many people not understanding what that meant.
did you say the immigration rate?
Sorry, the inflation rate. I
The
apologize
inflation
if
rate.
that's
It doesn't
yes.
matter. It doesn't matter. People don't see it. They only see change. Okay? The monotony becomes background noise. And you get tired of it. You just want to see a different color. I don't care if it's vomit color. Just give me something different, please. Okay, you
Sometimes
ever
when
heard of
you're
Chinese
living,
water torture? Do you know what Chinese water torture is?
I know what water torture is.
Where you sit down,
So you drip
you,
water on
yep,
someone's face for a while.
that's what the liberal party is. It's Chinese water torture, okay?
So like, tell me what you like.
At
Tell me what
least
you
Trump
think
comes in and
should be your
chops your
type
arm
of party.
off. You can feel that, At least it's something
I think that
different.
people didn't never really realize how great they had it in this country, even even during the Biden presidency. Times were good. The stock market was improving. The average our average lifespan has been higher than it has ever been before. Biden literally capped the price of insulin, and that was something that people have been begging for since Obama.
You're
But
doing the
like
thing. You're doing the
when
thing.
you live in a world where the status quo is definitely probably the best ever, like we live in the best
Oh.
times to be human.
But you're
Period.
doing the thing. You know the thing you're doing, right?
Well, what would make you satisfied? What could the Democrats do that would make you sad?
More! More! I want
Or what's
more.
more mean? What's
What's
more
more
mean?
mean? Free healthcare. Let's start there.
Free health. How would the Democrats do free healthcare?
How
That's
about
not
we
even a
start?
popular
Okay.
policy among Democratic voters. They couldn't achieve a majority like that.
Okay.
They,
Let's take it a step down then. A public option like Joe Biden promised.
yes,
Brandon promised me a public option.
Kamala Harris was literally
No,
ran on the
no,
public option.
no, you misheard me. Brandon promised it. Not Kamala. Brandon promised that. And he didn't give it to us.
He promised on his first term, yes, but it takes a lot.
On
It
his
takes a
fir-
lot of political. It takes a lot to do that. It's difficult to articulate how hard it is to push the healthcare system in this country to be like that.
Then he shouldn't have promised it. He promised. This is the problem. Do you understand? If he truly felt like he could not do it, he should not have promised it. It's inauthentic. Okay? Guys, we can't do a public option right now because of this and this and that. Here's what we can do.
But
Okay?
you're going to
We're
tell
going to
me that
lower
Trump,
insulin
in a
prices.
historically divided court,
We're going
uh,
to cap cancer treatments at $1,000. Just shit like that. Just something.
he
Something.
capped insulin prices, I think, at
They did.
$30.
They did.
That was
And then
a
Trump took credit
huge
for it.
thing.
And Trump's taking credit for it.
Yeah, Trump took credit for it. Yeah, no, but what Biden managed to achieve in a Republican-run uh, judicial Supreme Court in a historically split House and Senate, he managed to push across a lot of huge, huge policies. And he can't take credit for it because people don't feel it because it doesn't help the majority of the vocal people.
Trump took credit for it. In the
Mhm.
eyes of many Americans now, Trump is the reason that their insulin prices are lower. How did that happen?
It sounds like an advocacy issue. I already told you how the
Yes.
media is sort of built against the
This
Democratic
is what
Party.
this is what I was trying to tell you. Riz is all, okay? You have to be charismatic. You have to know how to talk to people. You have to know how to lie to people. You have to know when you're being lied to. You have to know all these things about human communication because communication is everything in politics. And the liberals have none. They are Rizless bitches and people hate them for it.
So your criticism of the Democratic Party isn't a material one; it's an aesthetic one.
It's both. I think Riz comes first.
Riz comes first, so
Yes.
aesthetics first.
Yes, always.
I agree. We do need an improvement of aesthetics, but that starts with like a complete change in how the media shows and represents the Democratic Party.
Okay. Well, maybe the Democratic Party should try something different. If they're always doing something different, then the media can't exactly show them in the same light, can they?
So how would you say what could the Democratic Party do in your opinion to make themselves uh I guess have more riz?
Absolutely. Let's look at Zoran Mamdani and see what he's doing. We can start there, right?
Well, are you talking about like a more of a young
You cut out again. A young what?
would you say more of, so what you're suggesting is like a younger candidate?
For one, I don't think it has to be younger. We have Bernie Sanders, remember? The
Yeah,
nice
yeah.
crispy salty potato chip, right? Okay? He's
Mhm.
got some riz, like it's not a lot. He's got the bare minimum, okay? I like Bernie. He's got just enough to be a likable dude. I would have a drink with him.
Mhm.
Zoran Mamdani knows how to party. Okay, I'm going to parties with that guy. We need a guy that it doesn't matter how old he is, younger, better, but that doesn't matter that much. What we need is a guy who knows how to party. Tim, who is
Tim
Kamala's running?
Walz.
Tim Walz, party
Yes.
man.
Oh yeah,
That
yeah.
is a party guy.
Yes. I think that was
Riz,
one of the better choices of
and
the Kamala
yes,
Harris front.
yeah, and they shackled him. They told him you
They
can't do
didn't just
this.
shackle him. He
They
was
did.
completely. If you- did do you remember the debate he had with JD Vance? It was nuts. Like the huge they each
He could
had
have
like
gone harder.
scathing questions pointed towards him. The question that they had for JD Vance was like, so you said here that that you would certify Trump's false electors during his coup, and it's like treated as like something less. And then they went to ask Waltz, well, you said here a really long time ago on this old online post that you were in China during the Tiananmen Square massacre, but as it turns out, you weren't there. What do you have to say for this? This is like a completely weird lopsided question between the two of them. Like one of them's clearly more pointed, whereas the other one's sort of more relaxed in how they were forced to, I guess, deal.
Are you finished? You cut out.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, are you finished?
Yeah.
You're not doing a good job of convincing me to vote liberal.
Well, what would it take for you to vote liberal besides
Excite
the
me!
existential?
Stop making them the victims! Oh no, Tim Walz, he got asked a
Okay,
bad
how
question.
is this for exciting? Vote for Democrats, or you're gonna have a president who declares war on a city, on their own cities, who's going to crash the
Hey,
U.S.
that's
economy.
something. Let's read
Yeah,
about
well, that's
that.
what they.
Let's read about
All
that.
of
What's
this
going on with
was
this?
said, and no one believed it.
That's something. Hey, why are they doing that? Oh, because they're being run over by drug traffickers and violent criminals? That's crazy. This is exciting. This is news. I'm Big News Morgan from One Piece. Like this is
So,
how you do
how
it. Yes.
so what could you like go through like a do like a cosplay of a Democratic let's say a Kamala Harris but with like mega Riz. How would she how megala Rizis
Kamala Harris,
uh
so can I change your policies or not?
you know what? Let's just do one with their policies and then one with change because I actually am curious to see
Okay.
how they differ.
Okay, give me a policy. I'll look into it a little bit and I'll give you a pitch.
So her policy on let's say the big one, the huge one that she wanted to run on, which was price gouging, being against the price gouging.
Kamala Harris price gouging policy. Would Kamala Harris's price gouging plan really help you as consumers? This is from BBC. Uh, introduce a national ban on price gouging. Sorry, price gouging. Stop companies taking advantage of the desperation and need of the American consumer and jacking up price without any consequence. Bad, 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 bad. You know how you say that? We're gonna stop these rich assholes from jacking up prices on your food. Okay? You deserve to eat. You deserve a plate at the table, and these grocers are telling you that you don't. They tell you you don't work hard enough, you don't make enough money, and you don't deserve food on the table for you or your kids. Now, how screwed up is that? I'm putting a stop to that. I'm Kamala Harris.
Don't you see how that could perhaps scare a lot of the voting population for Democrats?
Not at all. I'm not scared. I'm
Really?
listening. No, I'm not scared. I'm listening. What's scary
I don't know,
about
because
more
like
food on
a lot
the
of the Democrats are probably in that sort of group. They probably see themselves as both the family who
come
needs to buy food and
come?
the family that is selling said food as well.
Who do you think there are more of?
More of what?
If these are two conflicting parties, which one do you think there's more of? More the common man or more the grocer?
That's a really difficult question because the common man is a hard
No, it's
is a
not.
very it's a very vacuous thing. We don't have a common man in America. That's
It,
just like a myth.
this is the problem with liberalism. This is the problem with liberalism. You think there's no common man. Every man thinks he's the common man. That's the thing. So you have
Yeah,
to
every man
appeal.
thinks he's the
So when
common
I
man
say
from your farmer in the in central
yes,
in middle America to your wealthy fail son in New York.
yes,
It's a very wide net, and no one. The Democratic Party has the curse of needing to appeal to all of them, whereas the Republican Party already has a base built in that they cannot lose.
this is the problem. If everybody thinks they're the common man, and you're sitting here telling me there is no common man, how likely do you think I am to listen to you?
I don't know. You have to. It really depends on who you're talking to in order to convince them. Uh, because I guess different people need to see different things.
You're not wrong, but if everybody thinks that they're the common man, right? If everybody thinks that, you need to commit to the idea of pleasing the common man. Okay? And what you consider the common man in your own ideology, I guess, is your choice. But if it were me, I would just go with the largest groups. You know? Like, who can we appeal to the most with our policies? Right? So let's start with median wage income earners. You know, what can we appeal to with them? Right? Let's appeal to price gouging because most of them don't own grocery stores, right? I assume. So if they don't own
Mhm.
grocery stores, that means they're only buying things at them. And if they're buying things at them and those things are expensive, we can tell them we'll make them not as expensive. We'll put the blame on the grocery store owners. We will put the blame on them and say they are gouging your prices. Because they are.
That's kind of,
Because
don't
they
you think
are.
that's kind of scary to put the blame on a
Not at all.
specific group of people in this country?
Not at all, because that's what they're doing. That's what they're
I
doing,
think that
and that's what will
it's a
win, and
scary
that's what will
thing.
win.
It's a scary thing when Trump does it, and I think it would also be a scary thing when Democrats do it.
Yeah, it's a scary thing when Trump does it, and he won, didn't he?
He
I'm
won,
concerned
yeah,
with
because
winning.
people agree with him.
Do
But
you
I
like
don't think that
winning?
the Democrats agree with like demonizing a group of
See,
people in this
no,
country.
you're still see. You mean the Democratic base? The Democrats already demonized somebody, Donald Trump. So that's not true. They
You
love
can't
demons. They love
demonize
a
him.
narrative.
You can't demonize him more than he's already demonized himself. The Democrats
Nope.
don't need to lie. The Democrats don't need to say that he is the bad guy. He does that. He does that already. He himself plays the heel. He is like the demagogue.
We're not lying. The grocers, the people who own the grocery stores are the bad guy, okay? In this story, they are. I know that in their own heads, they're not. I empathize with them, okay? I get it. But in this story, they are, okay? Because this is the narrative that we need to push, because people are very bad at empathy. So what we need to do is push the narrative that they're the bad guy, because we're helping them too, okay? We're helping everybody. That's the whole point of this project. And sometimes you got to throw a
Do you
few
think
people
that
under
it's
the
more
bus,
likely
unfortunately.
that these grocery stores are doing this, increasing the prices out of malice?
They're doing it for profit. It doesn't matter if it's for
Yeah,
malice. You just
profit.
say it is. Just say that it
It's
is.
entirely that's a fair thing. That's how a lot of horrific atrocities have occurred
Just
historically and are occurring right now.
they occur because there's no alternative. So give them one. Say, listen,
They
I know
occur
we don't.
because you can it's easy to run on demonizing a group of people because rather than making your base think and understand their situation, why things are the way they are, it's much easier to select a small group and demonize them, say that they're the reason why everything's bad for you.
If that small group is very rich people raising prices for profit, yes, demonize them. Fine. Just do it. I know that they're not demons in their own heads. I get that. I personally understand that. But
I'm
what
not
we're
even talking about
doing,
demons in their own heads. I'm talking about just the simple idea of mixing politics and in vilifying a group of people. It runs a very thin line. And
but
again, like what's the difference between what you're doing and what Trump does to
you cut out again.
uh
The difference between what we're doing and what Trump's doing?
yeah.
Nothing. Besides, we're doing it good. We do it good
How'd
because
you think
yeah,
that?
because we're building. What we need to do is do what Trump did, but the opposite direction. You build a cult of
You know
person.
what a Trump supporter would say if asked the same exact question?
What's that?
They'd answer it the exact same way. Yeah, we're doing the same thing, but it's against the right
But we're
people.
right. But we're right. Right?
I, I
MAGA's
don't
wrong.
think
We're right.
I know MAGA's wrong.
Okay, then we're right. So we do it.
I don't think we live in a world where there's that sort of dichotomy where it's one group's wrong, therefore the other one will only be correct.
Do you personally think that you are correct at any given moment?
It really depends. Does the data follow what I'm saying?
If I ask you, let me put it this way. If I ask you about a thing and you give me an affirmative answer, you probably think you're correct on that thing, don't you?
I would, but I need an example. I need
2
a
plus 2.
way
What's 2
to
plus 2?
four.
Okay, are you sure?
You want me to write up the proofs? You want me to go through all the extensive what do they call them? Tautologies, where you have to proof out all of these things just to I I think there's a difference between following the feelings of a movement and following the data itself.
The point is, you think that you are correct about 2 plus 2 equals 4, right?
I think that I'm correct based
Oh,
off of what I've inducted from people who probably definitely know a lot more than I do about this subject, and they have done the proofs, and they can show me the proofs and explain it to me in such a way where I can confidently say that 2 plus 2 equals 4. I think that it's me believing I'm correct in the believes they're correct based off of a specific feeling.
The point is, because of all that data and knowledge, you think or know or what have you, you believe yourself to be correct when you say that 2 plus 2 equals 4. Yes? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. That was my point. That was the only thing I was trying to get to. Very good. Now,
But I
the
think there's more data. There's more information that's yes or no question. Wouldn't you agree?
yes, I do. But my point is, if you seem like you were very correct about the liberal thing, right? About how we need to support our liberals, right? You think
Yeah.
deep down that you're correct about that. That's why we're having this discussion.
Well, I mean, I have definitely do have a bunch of data to support that. Wouldn't you agree that if a Kamala Harris presidency would be at least a teeny tiny bit better than a Trump presidency is going right now?
At what point during this conversation did I give you any indication that I thought otherwise?
Oh no, I'm not trying to put words into your mouth. I
Okay,
apologize if that's. I was only bringing that up to sorry.
you're fine. You're fine. I know you're not trying to misrepresent me. But let's just be clear. I did not disagree with that. What I'm trying to explain to you is why she lost. That's where we disagree. Because you think it's external factors, I think it's internal factors. The Democrats can't fix anything outside of themselves, okay? Not necessarily. They can fix plenty within, all right? You can't always control the things around you, but you can control how you react to it, and you can control how you change yourself to adjust. And that's what the Democrats need to do. They need a wake up call. All right?
So
Donald
we're all
Trump,
the
the
Democratic
first time,
influencers.
go on, go on.
We're all the Democratic influencers. Like I know there are influencers on the left, but when we're talking about stuff on the right, you have MAGA influencers, influencers who would do nothing but support the MAGA movement. But we
Let me
don't
just,
have that. We don't have that for Democrats. We
let me
have
just,
leftist influencers, but they're not exactly aligned or directly supporting the Democratic Party,
the
at least
Demo,
in such a way.
go on.
Like we have the biggest left-leaning streamer vocally criticizing and not even encouraging voting for the Democratic Party, and I think that's just crazy.
Why do you think
Like, why do
Hassan would
we?
do that? Why do you think Hassan would do that? Let me ask you that.
I think he has a lot to lose from his audience if he were to do that, because I
Okay.
know I've been in his community for a bit.
Okay.
I was originally a pretty big fan of his until I sort of had like a crisis of faith, let's say.
Okay. No worries. I used to be a very big fan of his as well. I think these days I see him more as a well-meaning douchebag, who can't admit when he's wrong. But
Yeah,
he does sometimes.
Hey
He does
kids,
sometimes.
what's
Who's
up?
just raided?
but I
No Justice
noticed a little
MTG. Thank you
trend.
very much for the raid. 48 people. Beautiful. We're having a discussion with the liberal. So, what I'm trying to say is though, Hassan. Okay, so you think that Hassan does that to maintain his popularity, correct?
Not to maintain his popularity, but
Okay.
to appease a certain audience capture.
Okay.
Uh,
What audience is that?
it is I'm sure you've met the type of person who uses the term liberal as an insult, the type of person who believes that the only way for America to at least have far left to fix itself is through revolution. Uh, and I know it's never really a majority, but they are the most vocal people, especially within his community. So I'm sure if he
Okay.
were to Kamala vocally, they would just turn on him, and I think he knows that.
Okay. So he's appeasing this type of leftist that calls liberals bad, right?
Not calls liberals bad, uses the term liberal as a pejorative, like as an insult. This
Calls
is
liberals
like
bad.
it's not calling liberals bad. It's using liberals as the basis for bad. I think
Uses
there's like a
liberals
meaningful
as the
difference.
basis for bad, then. Can we go with that?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Using liberals as the basis for bad. So, when we use liberals as the basis for bad, why do we do that? Like, as Hassan fans, why do we do that?
I think I might need to touch up on my history, but I think that sort of has its roots in some sort of Marxist-Leninism belief that the
Which
liberals are
is,
sort of the softer wing of fascism.
okay, why do they think that?
The KPD believed that,
Why
which
did
is
the K,
why it's the Communist Party of Germany.
okay, why do they
Back
believe that?
They believe that because that was like the major tenet of their branch of Marxist-Leninism.
Okay, why?
They were very much against the social democrats of their state. They referred to them as like a softer wing of fascism.
Okay, why?
Uh,
What
they
did they
believe that
do?
anything. What did they do?
What did the Social
The
Democrats do to
SPD.
earn that?
The Social Democrats did to earn that was to I don't know actually.
It's a solid
Maybe
question, I
not
think.
be the wing. Maybe not being the wing that was backed by the Soviet Union at the time.
So they backed the Soviet Union, that's why.
No, were backed by
No,
the
no, no.
Soviet Union.
I'm no, sorry, you misunderstood. What I mean is,
Hmm?
the the people. What was the acronym you used? The abbreviation.
KPD.
The KPD. They backed the Soviet Union, correct?
They didn't back the Soviet Union. They were backed by the Soviet Union.
Got it. Sorry, I'm not a history
And they
buff.
pushed for a revolution in the country
Okay, so
where
why?
they did not have a majority mandate to push this revolution, and they were shut down by the majority, the SPD.
Okay, so the Soviet Union backed the KDP, who pushed this idea that Social Democrats are a wing of fascists.
Mhm.
Okay, so why
Well,
would
I
the
think
Soviet?
that's well. Sorry. Continue.
Okay, why would the Soviet Union do that?
Because the Soviet Union had a lot of interest in spreading its sphere of influence. Like
Okay, so it was an
Stalin had
empire.
a yeah. They were in the empire business.
Okay, so the Soviet Union was an empire just after power. What did they want to do with that power?
They wanted to spread its influence on the neighboring countries
Why?
because that's what empires do.
That's just what empires
I'm
do.
not.
No reason.
Oh, what reason would you say? I'm
Well,
not gonna put myself in the mind of Mr. Stalin.
you're not going to empathize? That's sad.
Well, I don't think I can empathize with a person who lacked empathy.
I think you can.
Put myself in the mind of a
Yeah.
psychopath.
Yeah, I think you can if you try really hard.
So I think that back then, what we know was that he was very paranoid
Okay.
because he had just gone through cleansing his own leadership, and this was before his second cleansing of his own leadership, just after the newly founded Soviet Union.
Okay. What do you think made him paranoid in the first place?
Having all that power and how he obtained all that power really puts a lot of strain on a person. If you had managed to achieve like ultimate power by killing the previous person, or at the very least backstabbing them, I think that you'd be concerned that someone would do just the same to you.
Sure. Why was he after that power? To what end?
Well, part of him believed in the teachings of Marxist-Leninism as like as a science, but also what drives a person to achieve to want power.
Good question. You want my answer?
Yeah,
The lack of control in one's own life. You don't feel like you are able to control anything about yourself or the circumstances immediately surrounding you. You're caught in a dead end job making minimum wage, not able to make ends meet. Your kids are angry at you. Uh, like everything is, maybe you just lost your job. Everything's out of control. You have no reins of power whatsoever in your own life. You say, fuck it, revolution time. And you grab the reins of power to the best of your ability. And if you're smart, you'll do what Lenin did. Now, I don't know his exact circumstances, okay? I don't know if that's what Lenin was going through. But it's a possibility. We can agree, right? It seems to
I think
track.
that Lenin's was more of an ideological thing.
Okay, but what brings somebody to that ideology?
what brings someone to that ideology. Well, Lenin was a pretty smart person. He was an intellectual of his time, and he read the works of Karl Marx, which I don't fully disagree with. He was a pretty brilliant economist, but or at least an economic philosopher. The issue is that when one believes that they're truly correct, they can justify horrible things. So I find how far we're getting away from like the initial thing with
Yeah, but this
Hassan
is
and
important.
his
This is important though.
okay.
Okay, because this all
There's a lot of historic studies into these people and why
sure,
they believed and why they did the things they did.
and
I
we
can't get into their mind because I just don't know.
okay.
I wouldn't
Go on.
I only know what they did. I don't know particularly the emotional or the psychological reason for why they did it. I can tell you perhaps the practical reason, like the fact that Lenin held on to the power even though he probably should have
Should have what?
uh,
Should have what?
the sole power, the sole dictatorial power after he took over Russia in the revolution.
Okay, let me just get to the point. The reason that we're going down this rabbit hole of Stalin or Lenin, sorry, not Stalin. He's a terrible person. Well, yeah, he's a terrible
I think
person.
that Lenin was
But
also a pretty terrible person
fine.
later on into his
But
life.
what we're trying to get to the point of is why he was a terrible person. Okay, he was paranoid. He probably had a lack of control in his own life, and therefore he stumbled across Marxist ideology and decided, okay, this is the route we're going. This is it.
Don't
Okay,
think it's
because and so because of his lack of control and because he was hurting so bad, he hurt other people, hurt people. Okay, so if you want to talk about where this idea comes from in Assange's community, it all stems from the same goddamn place: hurt people, hurting other people. Okay, they're
so
lashing
these
out.
so these so the effect in which these hurt people have is to push the one of the largest new media,
I think you cut out again.
thus
You
taking
cut
the
out
whole
again.
party.
You cut out again.
Sorry, I don't. You can empathize with people, and I agree. I think empathizing people is good, but you can't replace that with like a justification or at the very least an excuse for what they do. Uh, I can understand why a serial killer kills a person, but I can't say that I would have done the same. In fact, I would be horrified with what they did, and I think that's where the point that's where I stand is I can understand why Hassan did what he did. You know, you got to hold on. You got to get that bag. You got to hold on to your base. Uh, but I don't think that like there's any sort of. I don't think what he did is defensible.
So you don't
I
think
don't think
there's? Go ahead.
I don't think there's any defendable reason for why he did what he did.
So
Now
you
I can
don't.
tell you
Go
there's a
on.
reason. I know there's a reason for what he did or for why he did what he did, but I don't think that the reason is like defensible or at least changes the changes how I did.
So you don't think yourself capable of becoming a serial killer ever, under any
Sorry, what was that?
circumstances? You don't think yourself capable of becoming a serial killer under any circumstances ever at all?
Well,
Nothing would make you do it.
any circumstances does carry a lot. I think
It
that
sure
perhaps
does.
there's a I think perhaps if like pressed to the necessity, I would probably kill once, but I wouldn't kill for no reason, or at least no material reason, no good reason. Maybe like a survival thing. But most
Okay, survival.
wouldn't. Serial killers don't do it out of a necessary for survival. That's what makes
Okay.
them serial killers. They
Why?
kill for
Go ahead.
they they, they kill outside of what we can logically uh,
But you said you would do it for survival.
yes.
Okay, so you would become a serial murderer for survival to help yourself
I would do
live.
a serial murder for survival. How would that even work?
How would that work? Well, you tell me. You're the one doing the murdering.
I'm not murdering. I don't murder
Oh,
people.
it's not. Oh,
I'm a
so it's not murder in
pacifist.
your eyes. Okay, so serial killing in this
I'm a
instance is not murder.
pacifist.
Go on.
I'm a pacifist. I think that
But
there is a there is a point in which you can push me to where I would kill,
there you
but
go.
to get to that point, you'd be pulling me to such a place where I am no longer myself. I am no
Hmm.
longer. person I am now. Whereas a serial killer is the difference between me and a serial killer is so far away that it's in order to get me to the point in which I would become one, I would have to become a completely different person. Like the whole identification of me is not no longer there.
What if serial killers feel the same way about themselves? What if they feel that they've been so far separated from the person they once were that they decide serial murder is just the answer?
I wouldn't argue that they couldn't justify it to themselves.
Okay. So
They
you
could.
empathize then with serial killers.
Well, I agree. You can empathize with
Yeah.
something without agreeing with it.
Yeah, so there
I
is, but you
disagree,
agree
and I
then.
think that I'm not saying that that completely uh softens what they do or
No.
even justifies what they do.
No, no.
It's not.
Let me put
I
your
mean that's
mind at ease. Let me put your mind at ease. I too empathize with serial killers. This is not a gotcha. I'm serious. The only way that you can stop them is to empathize with them and understand why they do it. Right?
I think the only way you can do the best way you can stop them is investing in some sort of public infrastructure to keep them far away from people to kill,
Yes,
or
but
at least the means.
ideally we'd keep more from spawning, right? It's a
I
preventative
don't think
measure.
it's something you can do.
You
Like that would
absolutely
be like
can.
eugenic
If
stuff.
no, if you understand the circumstances via which a serial killer is produced. And for the record, like if it is a genetic component, I wouldn't necessarily be against talking about how to drive that out of the human genome. Okay?
Oh
Because
no,
that
I
would save
agree. I think that
lives.
there are
Yeah.
certain there are certain things that you can do. I wouldn't. I don't mind some sort of genetic engineering, but I don't see how this has anything to do with the with the far left streamer, the
Good
farthest left
question.
streamer we have.
Good question. Let's return back to the far left streamer Hassan Piker, who you said has no excuse for doing what he did, unlike those serial killers, right?
Not no, they don't have an excuse. An excuse implies a sort of a softening of their action. I don't think his action deserves any sort of
Justification, then.
justification.
Self
So
justification.
he can justify it to himself, but it does not change the fact that what he did potentially is harm the party itself. Because
How
he
do.
is the largest left-leaning streamer in the new streaming
Sure.
in the new internet environment.
I want to wrap this up relatively soon, so let's try to walk through this
Okay,
real
so
quick.
hmm?
How do you think Hassan justifies this to himself?
I don't I'm not Hassan. I cannot get into his
You're not
head. I've heard
empathizing.
in this
How would
personal
you
way.
justify it? How would you do it?
I think that the Hassan on the stream and Hassan in real life are two very different people.
Okay.
Hassan is not a an actual communist. He doesn't live like the communists. He doesn't believe in it. I think that he is a he puts on a character. After the stream goes off, he's a completely different person. And I think the way in which he justifies it is that it's just business.
So this is just a business strategy. And just for the chat, to refresh, we are talking about how Hassan Piker did not fully endorse Kamala Harris. So you think it's just a business strategy for him then?
Yeah.
Turning off
Or
ads, turning down business deals, why I left the left content. Like he just turns all that down for what? Business gain?
well, I think that you can understand that there's like a certain niche he can pull to because that's how content
Okay,
works.
let's run with that. Why not go with a niche that's more lucrative?
Because he's perfectly fine with being the largest left-leaning streamer on Twitch, the only left-leaning streamer on Twitch.
Why do you think he's fine with that? Why not make more money doing other stuff?
I think he's making more than enough money is he is
He could be
at what he's
making
doing
more.
now. I don't think that there is an incentive for him to move away from what he does.
So he had an incentive to make just enough money. Not like too much though.
No, he makes he's probably one of the highest paid people on Twitch right
He
now.
could be making
Doesn't
hundreds of millions. I
I
guarantee
mean if
you.
I want to
All he has to do
he's
is say,
free
The magic words. Why I left the left. The magic words. You make yourself a billionaire.
Really, who's the last person who became a billionaire from making Why I Left the Left
Okay, maybe not
content?
a billionaire, but a multimillionaire, okay? How
Well, he's
about
already a
Candace
multi-billionaire.
Owens? Why I left the left. Candace Owens. Perfect example.
She didn't immediately go to being rich after that.
Not
She
immediately,
her work towards her right-wing move increased over time. It was a huge effort to bring herself to where she is now. Of course, she did go too far and thus lost a lot of her audience.
but she did it because she wanted more money, right?
She did it because I think she had a mental breakdown and thought it was the Jews all
So,
along.
wait. No, no, no. You have to admit that at least at first this was a grift for money, right?
Yeah, no, I agree.
Okay.
She is a grifter, but
So,
I think you can't live in just a single world where one side has its grifters. I think Hassan is a grifter for the left. People can fill their own niches.
but no, no, no. You're missing my point. Okay, you're missing my point. What I'm trying to
Hmm?
say is, why does Hassan not do something more lucrative? Does he just have enough money? He could absolutely make more. He could easily, very, very easily. You swear that up and down that this is just a business ploy for him. Why not make more money? Juice that cow.
Can I make a comparison? It might be a little bit vulgar, but
Okay,
I apologize.
as long as it's not
So,
TOS, you're fine.
if you were a gay, uh, uh, not safe for work actor, let's say,
Okay, porn.
why not just do straight? Yeah, why not just do straight porn? There's a larger audience for straight porn.
Good
It's
question. Why
because there's
not?
a niche. It's a niche you fill.
No, that's a good
Hassan
question.
fills a niche on the left.
It's a niche you fill, but you could be
Yeah,
making more money as a straight artist, right?
yeah, but if you go
So
to a
then why
straight
not?
artist, there's probably more competition and less of a
Okay, more
dedicated
competition.
base.
So your argument
There's
is
a
that
lot.
there's more competition on the right.
Yeah,
I think that Hassan could get around that personally.
really.
Yes, absolutely. Like I said, he could become a Fox News pundit. Literally, give it a year. All he has to do is prove his loyalty. And yes, gay
Why don't
people
we ever?
do that, by the way.
Yeah, straight people do a gay porn as well, just to
Correct.
fill the niche.
Correct,
The
because their sexuality is not so integral to who they are that they decide it's worth the money, and that's fine.
Yeah, no, it's good for them. But don't you think that perhaps Hassan is filling that gay porn niche, let's say, for his community, that he can just grift off of the other side? I don't think that the grift is mutually exclusive.
I promise you, if he wanted to make more money, he could. That's my only point. So I just don't buy this argument very much. You could argue he's comfortable. Like I'll give you that. Like he's comfortable in his niche. He doesn't want to change anything because he's got a good thing going. Why rock the boat, right? We're making enough
But
as it
wouldn't you think
is.
it'd be worse that for an ideological reason he didn't endorse Kamala Harris?
An ideological reason? Sorry, you're asking me if I think he had one?
No, no, I think don't you think that it'd be a bit worse if endorsed Kamala Harris for an
No.
ideological reason rather than
No,
just a financial one?
I'd want to know what it is. What do you
The
think it is?
ideological
Do you think
reason.
he had one?
I don't know. I can't get into the mind of Hassan. I just know
Okay, that's
what
what we're
he
trying to
did
do. Let me ask you this then. Let me ask you a very simple question. Why would you tell somebody to not vote for Kamala Harris? What would stop you?
because I didn't like the Democratic Party or I wanted the other party to win.
Okay, why would you not like the Democratic Party? Or why would you want the other party to win?
Because I'm a Republican or
So you think
someone who is
Hassan's a
complete.
Republican?
No, I think that he's
Okay.
completely disconnected from the people he claims to defend.
From the Sorry, say that one more time. It went in one ear and
I
out the
think
other.
I feel he's completely disconnected from the people he claims to defend, as in what he advocates for, and his lack of advocacy for the Democratic Party would hurt a lot of the people he claims to want to help.
That may be true, but he doesn't see it that way. That's my point. Why would he
Well,
not
what do
see
you
it that
think he
way?
sees it as? What do you think?
Okay.
I
If you want my honest opinion,
yes.
Okay? I personally think Hassan is doing his best. I think that he is a big goofball. I think he's a bit of a douchebag. I think he's kind of abrasive and edgy just for funsies. I think he could be doing a lot better if he tried. Okay? But I do think in his heart of hearts that he's doing his best. And what he saw from the Democrats was them not doing their best. They were not bringing their best. They weren't selling their best. They weren't doing jack shit. And he was pissed off and frustrated that he was doing all this work. All this
And you know what?
work. Go on.
It's the funniest thing. Through all of that, through all feeling that, he was wrong. He was wrong. The Democrats had managed to push past the largest amount
I've
of
been
policy.
very patient with you. Now I'm going to interrupt you.
I apologize for interrupting.
It's okay. You've been doing it all night, just pointing it out. I've been very patient. Now it's my turn. Hassan is doing his best, whether he knows he's wrong or not. Let's just cede ground to you and say he is. Okay? In his mind, he's doing his best. He's doing everything right. Okay? Everything. He does fundraisers. He tries to convince the biggest streamers to be leftists, and then they turn on him. Okay? He shocked his dog on stream, done something that he didn't even know was bad, I guess. I don't know. Okay? And people got on his ass for that. And then he had to lie and say, oh, like I have to protect my image now. So now I have, he is frustrated. Okay? I only brought up the dog thing to drive home the point that,
I've never heard of this.
Oh, well, he shocked his dog. So, probably. There's mixed evidence. I think he did it. But anyway, he's trying to throw that under the rug because, again, he has to protect his image, period. Point blank, because he knows how bad it looks that he shocked his dog. Okay? Even though, which it does look bad, and I don't defend it, okay? But let's be real. That is not what the doctor ordered right now. We do not need to be talking about that dumb bullshit, all right? Yeah, he shouldn't have shocked his dog. But at the same time, okay, what I'm trying to say is, in his mind, he's doing everything right. Everything. And the Democrats just do not seem to give a single solitary about him or his community. That's why he was so hesitant. And he still ended up voting for Kamala Harris on live stream with the poll in hand, filling it out.
Yet he didn't tell his community to vote for Harris. He even explicitly stated that he wouldn't do that.
I cannot help your lack of empathy.
I can empathize for why he did that.
I thought you said you couldn't.
I disagree with the action. I disagree with the outcome. You can empathize with a person without fully agreeing or saying that what they did was a good thing. I think that what Hassan did was not only a bad thing, but to the very people in his own community.
Even if you can understand it, you don't care to. You don't care. You don't care why he did it, right?
Well, don't you think the outcome matters more than the reason?
Even if you think that, it still matters why it happened. Because that way you prevent it from happening again. Don't you want Hassan to support the Democratic candidate in 2028? Like, fully and openly?
He's not going to.
Gee, that's the problem with you liberals, man. Okay, that's the problem. I'm not trying to call you man, I just say that. But that's the problem with liberals, okay? Is that you give up. You're quitters. You're losers.
We can only do as much
You're losers.
as we're allowed to. We have to contend with reality.
Take it by the balls. No. Take it by the balls. Believe in yourself. You can soar.
You're asking the Democratic Party to do things
I sure am.
Undemocratic.
I sure am. Fine. Do it undemocratically. Fine. I don't care. Get it done.
That's horrible.
That's what the Republicans have been doing.
Yes,
I don't care anymore.
We should be fighting against that. It's not a good thing that they're doing it.
When they go high, when they go low, we go high, right?
No, we have to meet them where they are. But unfortunately, we can't do that. Because there are a set of norms we have to maintain. If we have to sacrifice this country, to do the very little thing.
You already did. It's gone.
What we have to
Country's
do
gone.
is enforce what's already there. And we haven't had the ability to do that because we have to contend with the democratic reality.
It already happened. Country's gone.
It would be nice that we wouldn't be here. But in order to get here, we have to we would have had to have had support from all around the country,
Maybe you
all
should
of
have
the
secured
pundits.
it.
I don't know what we could have done
I know you
more
don't.
to secure
I know you don't. I can't help you with that.
that.
Paula
The
is the
largest,
smuggest
the
person in
most,
the mass grave.
the Democratic Party had done more for unions. Well, had done the most for
You're doing the
unions
thing. You're doing the thing.
since
You're doing the
Roosevelt.
thing.
But guess what? You know who the unions backed?
You're doing the thing.
The unions backed Trump.
You're doing the thing.
So I'm guessing we have to. I think that we're the phase in which we are right now is a reckoning. People, the nice status quo in which we've created, and now we have to learn what it feels like to have all of these safety nets removed, to have all of these nice things that we've just kind of uh, didn't really that we took for granted, and now they're all gonna go. Unfortunately,
Okay.
it just takes us holding our hand closer to the fire, I
Sure.
guess.
That's fine. I think we've
I'm
reached an end.
sorry.
No, don't be sorry. We had a nice
It
talk.
was a nice talk.
I had fun.
You're definitely it was definitely better than I anticipated.
Yeah,
Thank
I'm not
you.
trying to get any gotchas. I want your honest opinions on things. I'm not backing off of this though. I think you're a loser. I think that you're addicted to losing, and you need to stop that. Any rebuttal
No,
before I let you
I
go?
agree. I agree with your whole
Okay, good.
risk stuff, but I think there needs to be much more something much more substantial. We need to be more pragmatic, and we need to encourage pragmatism in this country, in both the Democrats and also even the leftists online. We can't just say that. We can't just say, "Oh, they don't give me everything I want, therefore I have to. I can't support them." You have to take what you get and try your best to hold on to it, and then eventually you'll get more. Change doesn't happen all at once.
I make change happen all around me all the time. I think you can too.
It's easier to do it at an interpersonal level, but at a national level, it requires a
It starts
whole lot.
interpersonal. That's where it starts,
Yes,
always.
yes.
Okay. This is a lovely conversation. I thank you very much for coming on. I had a great time.
Have a nice evening.
All right, you as well. Take care. All right, that one was a little more heated. We are all agents of change. You must begin at the personal level, not even interpersonal. Start with changing your own life. Start with changing your own, clean your room, like Jordan Peterson said. Honestly, great advice. Clean your room. Wake up in a messy room. Your day starts messy. Even if it goes well, you go home, your room's messy. Your good day was sandwiched between two piles of messy shit. This guy can go himself. Well, it was them, first of all. And second of all, not really. Like, it's fine. I'm not saying go yourself. I'm saying stop being a loser. Stop being a loser. Like, you don't need to do that. Like, people are just looking for something different. I can't believe that I thought of that in the moment. The liberals voting for Democrats is like Chinese water torture to people. Okay? It is the same droplet on the head over and over and over and over and over again ad infinitum. Okay? Until you just get tired of it and you just want something different. Fine. Lop my arm off. At least I'll feel something. You know? That's what people feel about liberals. And that's why their approval ratings are so low. And that's why they lose. That's why they're losers, okay? That's why people hate them. There are no die-hard liberal fans. There are no die-hard Brandon fans. Not like Trump. Bernie Sanders, you know, not even really Bernie Sanders. Like, Donald Trump is just special. He's got that sauce, you know? Like I said, Bernie Sanders is like a nice crispy potato chip. And the rest of not that impressive, just good enough, right? It's pretty good. The rest of the liberals suck ass. And then Donald Trump is like this gorgeous, Grippo's, spicy, with barbecue sauce, like delicious, the most delicious thing that you've ever seen in your life. Very, very bad for you, granted, but the most delicious thing you've ever seen in your life to a lot of people, okay? He's like pineapple on pizza. Very specific taste, but the people who love it, love it. So my point in all this is, Riz is everything, okay? A few points, I guess. Clean your damn room, start with personal, move to interpersonal, and work on your Riz. That's the lessons that we take from this conversation. And the liberals could do a much better on the Riz part. Hi, thanks so much for watching and making it to the end of the video. I just wanted to let you all know that I love and appreciate everybody in my community, whether you can support me financially or just by liking, commenting, and sharing my videos. It helps way more than you know. That being said, I do want to give a very special thanks to my tier 4 subs, which would be Space Timid and Hot Take Andy. And thanks so much to my monetary subscribers from any of the tiered subs, or anybody who gives me money in any form, including going to my Patreon shop, donating money to me directly. It all helps way more than you know. If you do decide to help me financially, you can get some really cool perks like early access to content, exclusive access to censored videos, also some really cool badges next to your name. Even if you can't afford a monetary subscription, just watching, sharing, and commenting on my content helps way more than you know. Thanks again, and I will see you all in the next video.